Good Monday morning, Sonor family. Hope you had a good weekend. I think this is going to be a good week. I got a lot of things coming up. For all the gaps there have been in interviews, it looks like we're about to fill in the blanks a little bit for the next little spell. Anyway, got some really good stuff coming up. Hopefully, going to have one out to you that I recorded about a month ago, and waiting on the approval from the guy Lamar Carter, and hopefully going to have that out to you Saturday morning. And then I've got one I'm recording today with somebody 7 time zones away. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Not going to get too specific. I don't like to, it's not really a thing of jinxing something, but until something's in the bag and I know that it's a done deal and all that, really don't want to throw any names out there. I do have a big one coming up though. This was a really big one. Can't tell you who that is either because it's not a done deal, and I don't want to sit here and build this thing up and then the air get knocked out of it somehow. And not being a naysayer, just I've just learned over time, just kind of keep things to yourself until it all solidifies. But just I got several interviews lined up, and I think they're all going to be great. Some of them are really going to be people you know, and some of them are going to be people that maybe you're not sure who they are so much. But I think all these interviews are worth watching. If you have watched an interview that's not worth watching, please don't say anything. I wouldn't want to embarrass anybody or bust anybody out like that, but it just really would surprise me for that to be the case. So what else have we got going on? Well, we got the AQ2s got released last week. And I've put some feelers out trying to get people to go to the forum and take the poll, but they're not really doing that. The Facebook pages I post on, they're responding there, and that's okay too. Just a resounding thing so far is that I'm not seeing where anybody wants to buy one, and I think part of that's to do with the price. Probably a good part of that's to do with the price. The pricing, I can't speak to this for certain, but Sweetwater is showing them available in October. Whether or not that's going to be accurate, I don't know. I've seen where Sweetwater anticipated a certain ship date before, and the ship date turned out to be the actual shipping turned out to be sooner than that. So I think part of what's impacting the price right now is the impending or active or whatever they are, the tariffs. So maybe if something happens and the tariffs get put on the back burner between now and then, maybe we'll see a price adjustment. Again, I'm not speaking with any authority that that is what is going on, but I think that anybody with a reasonable, thinking capacity would assume these have probably been priced in anticipation of substantial tariffs, especially since they're coming from China, which seems to be another issue people have. And I think that's one that we kind of ought to look over. I mean, if you like the upper end Sonar stuff because it's upper end Sonar stuff, I totally get it. That is me all day long. Not liking something because of the country of origin, to me, is a little short sighted these days. The quality coming from these factories is phenomenal. It's all about what the customer demands, and Germany is designing and engineering this stuff. And you know what? We're living in the golden age of music gear, and Sonar is no example, or Sonar is certainly no exception. My apologies for that. But anyway, I think you're missing out. I think if you're passing that stuff by simply because of the country of origin, I think you're really missing out. And you know what? Maybe a $2,800 U.S. price seems a little high for an AQ2, but if you think about it in terms of it being a 150th anniversary specialized product, it is certainly specialized with the replica veneer and the beautiful high gloss finish. I think if you compare that to 15 or $16,000 for the upper end 150th anniversary stuff, it puts it in a different perspective. And yes, I get where people have said that, well, if you look at how prices compare to other items of similar quality or build or whatever, well, you know what? You're not looking at a very limited edition uh, run, 150th celebration run, either. So you're really not shopping apples for apples here. So I think that's something to think about as well. It's easy to sit back and look and play armchair quarterback and say, well, you should have done this or you should have done that. I do wonder what the perception would be if instead of having a maple shelled AQ2, if they had chosen another type shell and maybe had a AQ3 or an AQ150 or something like that. The fact that they've basically given an upgraded finish on an existing product, I think is too easy to draw. You easy to do too easy to do a price comparison. If they'd have changed it up a little bit, done something besides just a finish that separates it from the standard catalog series, it'd be hard to weigh a price because you don't have one to compare it to. Maybe they didn't do a beach because of the fact that the signature 150 stuff was already beach. So maybe coming out with beach in maybe a phonic shell thickness type thing and call it an AQ3, AQ phonic, AQ 150, whatever. Maybe that's the reason that wasn't a good idea. I'm not a part of the talks. I'm just sitting here like you guys and wondering, just got questions. How do we get here? Where did the price come from? Is it a lot to do with the tariffs? I think it's probably a lot to do with the quality of the replica veneer for one thing. I don't know if it's an Alpi or not, but I do know that there is nothing cheap about Alpi. The deep dives I have done lately have led me to realize that it is not an economical trade-off. It's not something, if you go buy MDF furniture, medium density fiberboard, that's typically used in mobile homes and that kind of thing, there's a thin printed paper that's used on that stuff. Well, the Alpi veneers are so far removed from anything remotely cheap. So I think that's a stigma that somehow some of us have wrongfully gotten. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see when they land, when the AQ2 150th stuff lands, how quickly it moves and who gets it and that sort of thing. And I guess we've beat that one to death. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about today. And I guess not. I'll think of something here later after I'm done with this and got it all wrapped up. But hopefully, going to have an interview to you Saturday. Got some more coming. Uh, if you haven't signed up for the forum, please do that. Please take part of the polls. Let us know your thoughts on that stuff. And anyway, got a good week ahead of us, I'm sure. And we will talk to you soon. Thank you.